Recording. Testing microphone. So I guess this is the part 2 video, and I really wanted to share a lot about, or get pretty specific about, the things that I did every day to go from where I felt really lost and in a very extremely dark place. About a year ago, I felt like everything around me was kind of falling apart. I was in a really toxic, very horrible relationship that at first promised to be almost a fairy tale, and it turned out to be one of the worst experiences in a relationship I have ever had the pleasure of being in. I was losing my condo because of COVID and not being able to work. I financially wasn't working. Just everything around me, from what I could see, was darkness. And when I say that, there are even people that are very close to me that are like, "What? Oh God, we didn't know you were always so happy. Everything was always so great." Because that's what I chose to let people see. So even in spite of sharing this and sharing these things that might make me sound crazy, even if it reaches one person and hits home and resonates with someone, then call me crazy. Again, these are just the things that I did, and it's my journey and it's my life, and this is how I went from, at one point, I'm not sure, I think it was a lot of years coming of not living in my own power or strength, or not consistently living there, that I felt of no worth, no value, very lost. Right. So let's get into it. I did a lot of motivational quotes, and there is always one that kind of stuck out and was there, and it is always paraphrased in so many different ways depending on who wrote it or who's saying it, and it goes something like, envision who you want to be and then show up like her or like him. So picture who you want to be and then every day show up like that. This is very easy to read and to say, but at the time it seemed like a far reach, because how do I go from that to that? It seemed like a big jump and almost impossible. And then on days where I didn't feel it or see it and I couldn't envision it, then it would cause a lot of angst, a lot of anxiety, a lot of negativity, and the circle began again back into depression. And the thing I feel like looking back about not working on myself the way I could have but didn't really have the time, is that everything that I was doing was just temporary fixes. And then when I would lose that consistency or slip up, the guilt and the pressure that I was putting on myself would cause me to ravel back down. So it was about climbing out of this darkness and into the light. Right, so getting from here to here it seemed at the time like, how do I do that? Because here I am, everything around me that I can see, that was tangible, that was in my life, was I felt like literally crumbling. And then there's also another famous quote that says, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, girl. And yeah, so I kind of played with that one a lot more. I knew that internally I had moments of happiness and joy and love. And I knew that I needed to change what I was seeing. I knew that it started with inside. First, I needed to change my thoughts. I needed to change the way I was first seeing myself. Because before we even get into like negative self-talk and thought patterns, I thought for me it was easier to change what I can see. So I made a commitment to myself, and this is where it's gonna sound a little, I don't know, to some people. Oh, I made a commitment to myself that no matter what I was looking like, I was feeling like, I was doing, every time that I saw myself in the mirror or in a reflection, or I caught a glimpse of myself, I was going to pump myself up. I was going to say at least one compliment and never anything negative, because I think it's easy when you look in the mirror, when you're tired or when you're feeling any kind of way, you see yourself and it's easy to be like, oh, look at my wrinkles. Oh, look at this. Oh, you look tired. Oh, you're da da da. It could go on. So I committed to, out loud, complimenting myself, boosting myself up, being my own hype man. And that would be like, it started with, you know, simple physical compliments like, wow, your hair is getting so long. Wow, you're so beautiful. I'm really proud of you. I love you. I'm still doing it every day. So that was just something that I did, and then I took it a little further and I really explored me and myself. I have spent hours with myself in the mirror, which this is where I think it's very hard for me to share, because I don't want to sound like I did it out of a way of conceitedness or being full of myself, I guess. But yeah, I really in a space of first acceptance and love, explored myself. Because how often do you get to really see yourself other than the minimal time it takes you to maybe get ready, brush your teeth, do your hair, swing by, you're washing your hands? When do you really sit with yourself and really explore? So I did that a lot. I can't count how many hours I hung out with myself. I mean, I would do paint nights alone, dance parties. I would sit and just be in awe, stare into my own eyes, laugh, cry. And I found that that was one of the biggest healing moments, because I came to really be in awe and be really proud of me. and all of the imperfections that I always tried to mask or hide, or they're not hidden anymore. And then I went even further. I started to sing and dance to myself in the mirror, which sounds wild, but I feel like music has this really amazing way of transcending us into a place and time and feeling. And there were songs that would come on that I would be like, oh, I wish someone thought of me at this song, or serenaded me with this song, or I wonder if this will be my love song. Or it would make me think of somebody, or want to sing it to somebody. And I thought, all of this love that I have, that I was so freely giving to people, now looking back most of the time, probably undeserving, begging to love and to be loved, almost. Hell, what if I just give it back to myself? What if I serenade myself? So that's what I started doing every morning. My morning routine, getting ready, would be putting on these jams, and I would just sing to myself in the mirror and love myself and laugh. And I did that every day. So, I mean, when was the last time you stared in the mirror, not stared in the mirror in a way of judgment or criticism, but exploration, wonderment, awe? Really looked into your eyes and saw you and forgave you and accepted you and loved you. On top of these things, I really had time to process things that I think I was treading water with my whole life and never really diving into. I focused a lot every morning when I woke up on gratitude and being grateful. And for a year now, every morning when I wake up, I think of 3 things that I'm immediately grateful for. And that really sets the tone, because I think, well, I'm going to go into the next video on my 2 biggest takeaways and like huge aha moments that I processed this year. But yeah, I implore you to, if you're in a place where you don't know if you love you, you know? The thing I think when it comes to grief, sadness, a place of heaviness, is that somewhere along the way, that becomes a habit, and then it becomes your lifestyle, and then it becomes who you are, your identity. And unwillingly, subconsciously or not, it's kind of easier to stay there because you don't know how to be anything else. The reach that you're trying to get back to, that person who once lit the room up, seems so far gone. But they're not. It's been you the whole time. You just gotta find it again. Hope this helps. My next video, I'm really going to be diving into 2 very specific aha moments of my year that that really shifted everything for me in my heart center and in my journey of love. Self-love mostly, but love. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, or if you want me to touch on anything, yeah, let's do it. Go have yourself a dance party, love yourself, give yourself a big hug, and realize that you're doing the best that you can.